Okay. Oh, that's good. Hi, friends. I feel like this is like a little off. Maybe I should move a little closer. Ooh, okay, there we go. Now I'm a little bit more in frame. So today I'm gonna do a little book haul because, hi, Brittany. Hello, baby. Because I have bought a lot of books in the past month, which I shouldn't be doing because my bookshelf is already very, very full. And my girlfriend bought me a Kindle for Christmas so that I could buy books that way so that I don't fill up my shelf. But I do it anyway. I buy books on my Kindle and I read them so quickly, like I go through them so fast, and then I buy more books. And I have books on here that I haven't even read yet, so it's a problem. It's fine. We're not gonna talk about it. So today I'm gonna show you all of the books that I've got in the past month. There's a lot. There's 1, 2, 3. There's 11 books. These are all of the books that I bought in the past month. That's a big stack. That's a big stack. Okay. Oh, I don't want to drop them. All right, so we're gonna start with the first two that I bought. I bought these while Ariana and I were in Virginia in March, beginning of March. Yeah, we were in Virginia in March because I was getting some new tattoos. So first I bought There's Someone Inside Your House, which if you watch my last video of my Do I Have That Book tag, you will have seen this. This was really, really good. I talked about this in my last video as well, that this was turned into a Netflix movie, which was okay, as far as like a horror movie, but for being a like book adaptation, it wasn't the best, just because there were so many like huge differences. Like the killer was a completely different character in the movie. The reason that he was killing was completely different in the movie. And I loved the book. I read it in a day. Like I could not put it down. Whenever I bought this, we went to the grocery store to get ice cream after dinner one night, and I bought this with as well as my ice cream. And I went home, we ate our ice cream, and I stayed up pretty much half of the night reading this, and then woke up the next morning and finished it. And it was so good. If you're a fan of horror, if you're a fan of like the Scream movies, if you're a fan of realistic type horror, not like paranormal type of things, but like a good old-fashioned killer, you will really like this book. And then the second one was another one that I also bought at the grocery store, and it is The Whispering Dead by Darcy Coates. I've read Darcy Coates books before and I've always really, really loved them. So when I saw this one, I got really excited and I picked this up, and then I found out that it is a series. So I came home and I went to Barnes & Noble after I finished this one and I bought the sequel. And then the third and final, I believe, book of this series is coming out in 2023. So I'm very excited to read that. These were both also really good, really quick reads. It's about a girl who wakes up in this town, this like really small town that she has no idea where she is. She's never been to this town. Nobody in the town knows her, and she has no memory except that she's being chased, and she knows her name, and that's about it. The pastor takes her in and lets her live in the groundskeeper's cottage in the cemetery of the church, and she realizes that she can speak to ghosts. And so it's basically her whole journey of like helping these ghosts through their the reasons that they're still stuck on the earth and helping them move on. And it's really, really good. My only complaint, I guess, about these is that the storyline of her being chased kind of died out, which I'm hoping, like they bring it up every once in a while. They brought it up again, like throughout the book, just not as often as I would have liked. So I'm hoping that the third one kind of resolves that mystery of like why she's being chased. The next three, I thought I bought 4. I knew I bought another one. I was like looking at this pile. I actually bought 12 books in the past month. So I was looking at this pile and I was like, I thought I bought 4 when I went to that bookstore. And I did. I had to check my Instagram. And I did indeed buy 4 books at this bookstore that is a couple blocks down from my apartment. It's called Shakespeare & Co. And there's one in Philly and there's one in New York, I believe. And I went to a workout class with my friend, and on the way back I decided to take myself on a little date and treat myself to some new books. So I did exactly that. I bought Where the Crawdads Sing, Guest List, Mexican Gothic, and The Club. So starting with Where the Crawdads Sing, I have heard a lot of good things about this book. I know it's being made into a movie. I saw the movie trailer, and I think that's kind of what pushed me to buy the book, because I wanted to read it before I went and saw the movie. And it sounded so good. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like the it kind of like Misty Day from the third season of American Horror Story, just because it's like this girl living in like the marsh, and like it also kind of gave me like Outer Banks vibes. But it sounds really good. For years, rumors of the Marsh Girl have haunted Barkley Cove, a quiet town on the North Carolina coast. So, in late 1969, when handsome Chase Andrews is found dead, the locals immediately suspect Kaya Clark, the so-called Marsh Girl. But Kaya is not what they say. Sensitive and intelligent, she has survived for years alone in the marsh that she calls home, finding friends in the gulls and lessons in the sand. Then the time comes when she yearns to be touched and loved. When two young men from town become intrigued by her wild beauty, Kaya opens herself up to a new life until the unthinkable happens. So that sounds really amazing. I obviously have not read this one yet, but I'm really, really excited to read this, and a bunch of my other friends want to read it as well, so I think I'm gonna pass this along to them whenever I'm done. So yeah, this one, really, really excited to read. The next one I got was Mexican Gothic, which is another one that has been on my TBR list. Every time I would go into Barnes & Noble, I would see it and I'd be like, oh my god, I have to buy this book, I have to buy this book, because I keep hearing amazing things about it, and then I never picked it up. So when I was there, I saw it and I was like, you know what? I'm finally gonna buy it, and I'm finally gonna read it. I'm very excited to read this one. I had to like restart talking about this one because I don't know what it was about the blurb on the back of this one that like really fucked with me, like it got me all tongue-tied. Basically, this girl gets a letter from her cousin who just married this English man, and it doesn't say what it's a frantic letter, but it doesn't say what the letter says. So basically the girl goes and she tries to like kind of figure out what's going on, I guess, with her cousin and her new husband. And it says she's tough, smart, and not afraid. Not of her cousin's new English husband, a stranger who is both menacing and alluring. Not of his father, the ancient patriarch, who seems fascinated by Nomi. And not even of the house itself, which begins to invade Nomi's dreams with visions of blood and doom. So that sounds really cool. That also sounds like right up my alley, because I love creepy shit. And I don't know, I'm just really excited to read this one. And it's really short, like it looks like it's gonna be a quick read. So yeah, I'm really excited about this one. The next one that I got at Shakespeare & Co. is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. And this one is about, it doesn't really have much of a blurb on the back. All it says is an exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. The bride, the plus one, the best man, the wedding planner, the bridesmaid, all have a secret, all have a motive, but only one is a murderer. So I'm assuming it's gonna be about like a wedding and somebody dies and you just kind of got to figure out who it is. So I'm getting very like And Then There Were None vibes from this. So that's really exciting because I loved And Then There Were None. And I'm really excited to see what this is about. Especially, I love books that like have just small little blurbs on the back like that, and they don't really give away a lot of the story, because then you kind of go in like not knowing a lot about it, and you kind of get to like you're just as clueless as the people in the book. And I think that that's exciting because I always really like guessing like what's gonna happen, and when you go in not knowing a lot, then you get like, I don't know how to explain it. Is anybody else like that? Like I don't know, I'm really excited to read that one, and I love a good mystery. So, and then the last one that I got from Shakespeare & Co. is The Club. This one and The Guest List were both ones that I heard a lot about on Goodreads and like Book Talk and stuff. So this one says, there's no place like home. The home group is a glamorous collection of celebrity members clubs dotted across the globe, where the rich and the famous can party hard and then crash out in its 5-star suites, far from the prying eyes of fans and the media. The most spectacular of all is Island Home, a closely guarded, ultra-luxurious resort just off the English coast, and its 3-day launch party is easily the most coveted A-list invite of the decade. But behind the scenes, tensions are at breaking point. The ambitious and expensive project has pushed the home group's CEO and his long-suffering team to their absolute limits. All of them have something to hide, and that's before the beautiful people with their own ugly secrets even set foot on the island. As tempers fray and behavior worsens, as things get more sinister by the hour and the body count piles up, some of Island Home's members will begin to wish they'd never made it to the guest list. Because at this club, if your name's on the list, you're not getting out. How incredible does that sound? I'm so excited. I have chills just reading that. It sounds really cool. It's another one that it sounds like these two kind of reminded me a little bit of each other, but not enough that I wouldn't buy both of them. Oh, and this author wrote People Like Her, which is also on my to be read list. Which I'm and this is also a Reese's Book Club, so you know that's gotta be good. I'm all around very, very excited to read this one. This one is another one that a couple of my friends want to read, so I'm really excited to read this and then talk to them all about it and see what they also think of it. The next few books that I bought because I just finally watched the 3rd season of You, and oh man, it was so good. It was so good. And as it was ending, I didn't want it to end, and I was like, I need more. And then I remembered that it was a book first. So I went to Barnes & Noble and I picked up the series, the book series that the TV show is based on. So we have You, Hidden Bodies, and You Love Me. And again, if you watched my Do I Have That Book video, you will have seen these as well. I just finished reading You yesterday. I just finished this one yesterday, and then I'm currently reading Hidden Bodies. So I'm really excited. The first book was really, really similar to the TV show. There wasn't a lot of huge differences, but I'm noticing already that there is a lot of differences in this book, but not enough that the storyline is pretty much the same. It's just little details. But I also kind of love that when I read the book second, because I don't exactly love to know how it's gonna end. I feel like if I read a book after I've watched the movie or the TV show that it's based on, I'm not really as into it because I know what's gonna happen. But at the same time, even though I did know what's gonna happen with these, like I said, they're super different, or they're different enough that it keeps my interest, but also they're just so good that it kept my interest anyway. And I also haven't watched the first season in a long time, so I forgot some of the things that had happened, so reading it was really, really cool as well. So yeah, if you're a fan of the TV show, I definitely recommend these because they're so good. And I'm only a couple pages into Hidden Bodies. I just started reading it last night, but it's really good so far. Oh, my coffee is still frozen. I made it and then I put it in the freezer so that it would be iced coffee. That's not ice, that's chunks of frozen coffee. But it's still good. The last 2 books in my book haul are 2 that I bought yesterday. Ariana and I were out and we passed Barnes & Noble and we said, do you want to go in? I don't know, do you want to go in? And we played that whole dance. And we're like, yeah, we're going in. So I bought a book that both of us really wanted to read. So I don't know if she's gonna end up reading it first, probably, because I have a long list of books that I want to read for this one. So she's probably gonna end up reading it first. Which is Cinderella is Dead. I hadn't heard about this before, but I was recently watching some of Carrie Hope Fletcher's recent book videos, and I heard her talk about this and it sounded really, really good. And it's basically about this town that their whole, they center their whole way of life around the story of Cinderella, and once the girls in the town reach a certain age, they are sent off to a ball to be chosen by a man which is super misogynistic and gross. And they basically, if you're not picked by a man, then you're shunned by society for like the rest of your life. And isn't that horrible? But the main character doesn't accept that. Like, she doesn't like that, and she's like, screw this, I'm running away, because she is in love with another girl in the town, and she's worried that that girl is going to be picked by another man. And I'm really excited. And I think the girl, the girl that she falls in love with is a descendant of Cinderella and her stepsisters. Oh, I didn't know that. So I guess they like run away together. I love the story of Cinderella. I love a good fairy tale, and I also love a good sapphic romance. So the fact that this is both, chef's kiss. We love it. I'm very, very excited to read this. I also love reading books that Ariana also wants to read, because as much as she loves reading, she's in law school, so she doesn't have a lot of time to read. So I do love whenever she gets the chance to read and we get to read the same books and then like talk about it. So I'm very excited to read this with her. And then the last book that I got is a book of short stories. It's called Some 40 Tales from the Afterlives by David Eagleman. And it's basically just a bunch of different versions of what ifs about the afterlife, of, you know, what if God is the size of a microbe and doesn't know that you exist? And what if God is a married couple, or that the universe is running backwards, or that you're forced to live your afterlife with annoying versions of who you could have been? Oh, that one sounds funny. I'm really excited to read this one. I love a good book of short stories. I love small reads like this. After I've read like big books or like series, which I think I'm gonna read this after I finish the You series, to kind of, I like short stories to kind of decompress after, especially like something as heavy as You. So I feel like this is gonna be a really fun read. And I'm also super fascinated with stuff like this, like the afterlife and death and like what happens to us afterwards. So I feel like this is going to be something that I'm really, really going to enjoy. Hello, this is the day after, or 2 days after I filmed my little book haul video, but I just got something in the mail, and if I'm correct about what it is, I can kind of include it in this haul. So it's not a book, but it is, oh, I'm so excited, it's so cute. It is, like Bookish, so it's not an actual book, but it is this cute little library card phone case. I have on my phone right now, I have a little like witchy kind of phone case, and it's really, really cute, but I dropped my phone so much, and it's falling apart, so I needed to get a new one, and I saw this one and I thought it was really cute, and it's bookish, so I can include it in my little book haul, I think. It's very cute. Also, since I uploaded that video, or since I filmed that video on Saturday of me doing my little book haul, it is now Monday, and I have finished Hidden Bodies. I just finished it 5 minutes ago. Just finished it. Oh, it's completely different from the second season of You, but I almost prefer it to the show. It's phenomenal. Anyway, this was really good, and I'm about to start, what's the third one called? You Love Me. I'm about to start You Love Me. I am really excited to read the ones that I haven't read yet. If you have read any of them that are on my TBR list, please do let me know, and let me know what you thought of them. If you've read any of the ones that I have read from this list already, also let me know, and let me know what you thought about them, and we can talk about them. And I'm just really excited to start reading again. I had a bit of a reading slump in 2021. I only read about 20 books, which I feel like everybody that I say that to, they're like, that's a lot. And I'm like, for me, that's not a lot. That's not a lot for me. Like, I'm the type of person that I read like 30 to 40 books a year at least, which again, isn't a lot. Like, I feel like I see all these people reading like hundreds of books in a year, and I'm like, how do you have time for that? Like, I don't understand it. But anyway, I'm really, really excited because I've been reading a lot more. I don't know what like reading bug bit my ass at the beginning of this year and at the end of 2021, but from December to now, I have read so many books. My goal on my Goodreads account for the year is 35 books, and I'm already at 25, and it is April 9th. So I think we're doing pretty good so far, and I'm really excited to read these books. I have a bunch of other books on these shelves and on my Kindle that I'm really excited to read. So I think it's gonna be a good year for reading, and I'm really excited. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you did, if you wanna follow me on my Goodreads and we can read some books together, I'm gonna put that in the description. And yeah, anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye, friends.